Margaret Atwood seems to have taken the mighty words of Nelson Mandela to heart. Nelson Mandela says, and I quote, "To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity." Unquote. I repeat, to deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. It is the poet's unconditional and absolute belief in this that has inspired her to write this great poem. At the opening of the fifth section of the poem, the poet makes a statement. She says that the facts of this world can be seen clearly, even though they are seen through tears. What has the poet in mind? The poet has in mind the denial of human rights. The denial of human rights is not a solitary phenomenon, not an isolated phenomenon taking place in some remote corner of the world. The denial of human rights is widespread, is systematic, is even systemic in all totalitarian societies. The denial of human rights is heartrending, and the poet can see the facts of this world only through her tears. She is compelled to weep when she sees what she sees, and she sees what she sees clearly. The poet asks, why is it that they tell her that there is something wrong with her eyes, when in fact what is wrong is with the world? They tell her that something is wrong with her eyes, but the fact is that something is wrong with the facts of this world. The poet admits that to see clearly without turning away, without flinching, is agony, is agonizing. To flinch means to make a quick nervous movement as a sort of instinctive reaction, as an expression of pain, disgust. The poet says that to see clearly without flinching, without turning away, without moving the eyes away is agony. Agonizing, heartrending, heartbreaking. This is what the facts of the world are. And what are the facts of the world? Torture, torment, brutality, sadism, cruelty. The poet has in mind the widespread and systematic denial of human rights across the world in totalitarian societies. The eyes taped open 2 inches from the sun could be a reference to an event taking place in a torture chamber, or it could be a reference to the poet's own eyes, which find it unbearable to see what they see, and the impact of what is seen on the eyes is like the impact of the sun on the eyes of the poet, and the sun is just 2 inches from the eyes of the poet. The poet wonders, what is it that she sees? Is it a bad dream? Is it a hallucination? Is it a vision? What is it that she hears? Living in the comfort of the advanced society of Canada, the poet is actually unable to believe that such things are actually taking place in this world. She can't trust her eyes. She wonders whether her eyes are deceiving her. She asks what is it that she sees. The torture, the torment, the sadism, the cruelty. Is it a hallucination? Hallucination is seeing or experiencing something without the required stimulus. Seeing or experiencing something when that something is not there. I started hallucinating about my wife immediately after she deserted me. I hope, I hope that the meaning of the word hallucination is very clear to you now. The poet wonders whether what she sees is a hallucination or a vision. And she wonders what is it that she hears. She hears the screams of persons being tortured. Perhaps she hears the screams of women being tortured, children being tortured. And she wonders what is it that she actually hears. The razor across the eyeball is a horrible example of torture. The victim's eyes are being gouged out. The victim is being blinded. This is what happens in the torture chambers of totalitarian societies. It is a detail from an old film. The poet would perhaps have been happy if it had been just that, just a detail from an old film full of violence. But it is more than that. It's a reality in the contemporary world. It is a fact in the contemporary world. It is taking place in real life, in actual life. And the poet has to bear witness to it. The poet has to be a witness to it.